Hey, good morning. Welcome to DaGolfShopTV. I'm Jeff Harrison, my partner.
I'm Amy Anderson.
Amy, you know, we have got a lot of exciting things to talk about. We've got something coming up. But before we get started, let's talk about last week.
Well, last week was just the ladies. Just the ladies.
Just the ladies. Wow.
And it was the Women's British Open, and Ji Shin won.
No, she didn't win.
she ran away.
Pummeled the competition. I mean, you know, you started out with them, you know, basically it looks like they were going to a snowmobile expedition because they were in mittens and, you know, toques and had jackets, and the wind, it was terrible. And GA just broke out of the pack and nobody could catch her.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Sunday was so impressive. Sunday, she starts out the final round, with a triple bogey? Yeah. And then just totally came back, ended up being, I think, the only player to shoot under par.
That's just wild.
Yeah, and their scores were, I mean, people were shooting 77s, 85s, and then she goes out and shoots a smooth, 71?
Yeah.
Whew.
Pretty impressive. You know, I think that's the deal that, you know, we talk about on the PGA Tour about parity, you know, and dominance. You know, we see some dominant figures coming in, the Rory, you know, Shrek now and then. No, not really. Tiger's coming back. But on the women's tour, boy, it's like every week. It's like, hey, just throw the balls in the air and see what happens.
Yeah, you know what? An Asian, Yanni Singh said this yesterday. An Asian has won the last 8 tournaments, and she says it's their work ethic, which was interesting to hear her say. I want to put a plug in for Paula Kramer. I mean, she had a great round, or finish last week, came in second. So, you know, go Paula.
Yeah, well, you know, Amy, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She was way back.
She was.
You know, it's like she was playing it. Her and everyone else, they were playing a totally different tournament. There's a definite divide, and I'm probably going to get some comments on this. That's okay, but there's a definite divide between the quality of golf our U.S. women golfers are delivering over the women from other parts of the world.
Exactly.
Especially in the, you know, in that Pacific Rim.
You know, and I was reading about this too, is how young they start and the training they get. And our kids get good training, but I think it starts mostly in their teens.
Well, you know, we deal with that. You know, we have a nice little golf team that we put together, and you know, we've got one little girl who has a tremendous amount of talent. And you got an email yesterday saying, "Hey, I may not make it there. I'm going to go see about dance practice."
And we're like, dance? No.
Dance? I mean, I'm not against dancing, but I thought she was committed to golf, and I think that's the difference.
Yeah.
I think and this is true in anyone. You take a Michael Phelps, you take anyone like at that level, man, they eat, live, and breathe that. And that's the difference. There's so many distractions for our youth, and especially in America and around the world. It's tough.
Yeah. Well, let's get into this
Jeez,
next
I'm sorry,
week.
Man, I went way down that. Let me get out of that rabbit hole. Hey, welcome back.
This week the men are at Eastlake.
Tell us about it.
The tour. Well, what is there to tell? It's the final event to be the tour champion this year, or the FedEx champion. 30 of the 30 top players are in the event. Anyone has a chance to win.
Even?
Well, I was looking at these stats. Okay.
Hold on to your hats, folks.
Scott Piercy, who's number 30, could win. Now, he could win if Rory is...
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
If Rory comes in 29th and Tiger ties for 6th or worse. So mathematically, anyone can win this event. But here's one that really gets me. Okay, you can just sit here and listen. Shrek or Louis Oosthuizen hasn't won an event all year, could come in second this week and still win. That's just wrong.
Hey, that's fair, baby. That's math at its finest.
Yeah, Tiger made the comment yesterday he doesn't know how fair it is, but he also brought up a point, and this kind of, I guess, okay, we'll give him a plug for this. The New England Patriots, they won every game last year and didn't win the Super Bowl and weren't world champs.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, I guess, the same thing.
Well, you know, it's all this playoff stuff, playoff. It's not that I'm against that. It's that, you know, there was always this very clear line, who was a player of the year, who was a money tournament leader of the year, because it was accumulation of everything you did throughout the year. Now, at the end of the day, the only reason, in my opinion, these things are happening, Amy, I feel like the coach. The only reason these things are happening to me is because of television
Yep.
and rankings.
Yep.
That's it.
No, and that's why they changed this, because VJ was the clear winner, what, 3 years ago, and
Yeah.
didn't even have to show up the last day. So they changed the playoffs. Let's go to Player of the Year.
Let's do that.
Because who would you, I mean, let's say Tiger wins this week. Is he Player of the Year, or is it
Gotta
still
be.
Rory?
No, he's got to be. Come on.
Even
he's
though
won,
no major?
no major, but he's won 4 times, and if not, he's certainly come back as Player of the Year. I mean, you know, he's over everything he's done. Okay, I'm a little bit of a Tiger fan, and at the same time, it's because he has that work ethic we were just talking about. I'd have to put a check mark in his box for Player of the Year.
Okay.
No question in my mind.
So he's had 4 wins?
Yep.
And Rory's had four wins,
Yep.
but Rory has a major, but he has the Tour Championship.
I think so.
Okay. I'd have to go with Rory still, just because of the major factor.
That's all right.
Yeah,
That's
it's
all right.
okay to disagree.
Absolutely right.
Anyway,
Sorry.
who do you like this week?
Tiger.
Okay.
You know, especially after that comment, what was it?
Greg Norman.
Greg the Clown Shark, Norman. How
Intimidated.
how absurd is that?
That is just the silliest thing I've ever heard. Where did he come from?
I don't know. I don't know if he was just out there thinking, you know, what could I say to stir the pot? What could I say to grow this again media-inspired rivalry? You mean, watch me. You know, I think what rivalry is. You know what? In high school, our football teams, you know, across town, that was a rivalry. This is not a rivalry. They're walking down. It's a spirited competition, and that's what I love about golf, Amy.
Oh,
But yeah, Greg Norman, come on.
I think he just put a little bit of a flame under Tiger, and Tiger's going to do. I would be shocked if Tiger does not win this week. What is he? 50% of the time he's been at East Lake, he's coming first or second.
Well, there's those stats again. It's hard to beat
Yeah.
the stats. I mean, that's just the facts.
You know, and he does really good on Reese Jones redesigned courses. I mean, he's done well here. He's done well at Medina. I don't know. He's not. Do you think he's ever driven the ball better?
No. You know, you look at his stats, and again, I love that PGA Tour app. You got to check that out. Put it on your cell phone. Put it on your iPad. I'm not selling it. Don't get anything because it's free. But that is a phenomenal app. I mean, you can drill right down to the core of, hey, how many fairways hit, and what's their percentage, what's their driving distance, greens, all that stuff. I just love that. So no, I don't know if he can drive it. You know, we can always drive it better. We have those off days where we're saying, you know, 14 out of 14 fairways. But it's impressive.
Well, East Lake does take someone that drives the ball well, so you know, I'd have to put my money on Tiger. Rory going for 4 in a row. I don't think it's going to happen.
The only thing that could happen that is really working into Rory's benefit is the fact there was a forced 1 week down.
Yep.
And so it gave him a little bit of, you know, I remember back when I was winning. Okay, maybe that was, but you know, you get to playing so many days in a row. Your mind, even at the level that Rory and Tiger at, it needs a little break because it's at such a peak level that every once in a while I remember one time I figured out my day was 19 days in a row, and I'm sitting over a putt, and I'm putting, I'm thinking, I wonder if I got my laundry done. That's how the mind works. There's a little bit of a distraction figure there, you know, going on. And so I think this last week really benefited Rory. And it benefited Tiger because it allowed Greg Norman to make such a ridiculous comment.
Okay, and I got to put a plug in for Phil again, because once again, he's still flying under the radar, and he's been playing well, and he's done well at East Lake as well. You know, lowest overall winning score there ever, so.
I mean, here's another guy, as you say, been flying under the radar, really hasn't done a whole lot this year. He's been so off the grid, and you know, now he's right there. He's in that situation. Matt doesn't even play a situation. He just has to win.
He does.
He wins everything. Yep. And yet, 2 weeks ago he was 12th. Then he went to 4th. Now he's 4th.
Yep.
He can, and I think there's some inspired golf there, Amy.
There is. You know, and Dustin Johnson, I would say he should do well, but he's never done well at this tournament. God. Since 2009, he's been there every single year and hasn't come higher than 22nd.
I cannot wait to settle in with the clicker. I'm going to videotape it so I can, you know, speed through some of the commercials, but I cannot wait to settle in and watch this event just unfold. It's going to be exciting.
And what about Ernie there? Another guy, I mean, you know, he's a long shot, but he's done really well.
Hey, come on, mathematically he can win, right?
Well, everybody can. You know, besides the top 5, who would you pick? Anybody?
Sergio.
Ooh.
I like Sergio. You know, he's had I'm going to say he's had a little bit of air put back in his balloon, a little bit of a resurgence in his game. Yeah, I think, you know, he's over the heartbreak. He's over the what about me, the poor me, I think. So yeah, I'd like to see Rory win. I mean, excuse me, Sergio.
Sergio would be a good win. I think, you know, Westwood and Luke Donald both have a chance too. So, and Jason Duffner, but so boring.
Yeah, Westwood. You know,
Yep.
you bring up Westwood. I just love that golf swing. It is so powerful, but so efficient. It's great. So.
Okay, well, there's somebody in the field who played with Michelle Wee when she was 15 years old at the John Deere and lost to her by 7 shots. Do you know who that is?
Yes. Oh, wait a second. I know who it is, but he's in the field?
Yep. He's in the top 5.
Really?
Nick Watney.
Nick Watney did?
Yeah, I read that
Oh,
yesterday. I'm like going,
wow.
oh, there's a good piece of trivia.
Wow. You trying to stir a little Norman up there?
No, I was like going, holy cow, to have that on your...
You should see her. I mean, she lives on that iPad. It's like,
do.
you know, hey, what do you think? How many times does light change red? Well, I'll find out. It's amazing. I admire her for that. So,
We have to bring up a huge thing too.
oh my God,
Very
what's that?
exciting news.
What's that?
Freddie
Oh, that's right.
Couples been inducted into the World Golf Hall of Fame.
I know that made your day yesterday.
It did.
It came through in like all caps on my.
It did, and kind of the cool thing is usually to get into the Hall of Fame. I have a friend who actually does some of the voting, but to get in, you generally have to have won 2 majors, and Freddie hasn't, except for, you know, the senior this year. And some of them say, well, the Players kind of counts as a major, but that was kind of interesting to see.
Yeah, and I think, you know, just the overall spirit. Everybody loves Freddie. You know,
Yep.
it's a good pick.
Yep, 2 or how many times has he been President's Cup captain?
Well, I think 2 at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's good for the game.
Absolutely.
He's good for me.
I love it. I love it.
Anyway.
Well, anything else? Ladies on or off this week?
The ladies are playing down in Alabama.
Alabama.
And
Anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay.
Kind of I mean, it's all about Eastlake this week.
It is. So enjoy the event. Hey, come check us out. Remember, we have a product called Etiquette Moment Videos, and those are weekly videos that talk about, hey, how to play the game better. It's almost like saying, hey, you know, I know how to play. I can play Monopoly, but if I knew the rules better, I could be a better player at Monopoly. I could enjoy it better. That's what these are, Amy. They're, you know, how to fix a bunker, or how to rake a bunker, you know, how to fix a ball mark, how to, you know, maybe make sure that we're coming into a period of time here where we live where there's an overseeding issue, and how to play faster without feeling like you're being rushed.
Yeah, and understanding the rules and actually the definitions of the game.
Yeah, and you know, we priced it right. How much is it?
Complimentary.
Oh, that's right, it's complimentary, and it come out for a week. Now, we have, every week they're in there, and we were looking, I was looking last night, and we have it out there, so from now till the next 302 days, once a week, you're going to get a video. And after the show, we're going to shoot a whole bunch more stuff. So we're looking at putting some new product in there. So if you see us in this gig in another year, you go, oh, I remember that day way back in September. So again, go to there. It's at Swing Point Media, www.swingpointmedia.com, and you'll see a little sign-up thing there. It says, you know, weekly free weekly Etiquette Moment videos. Sign up there. Recommend to your friends, and we can't wait to talk to you next week after.
Yep.
The Tour Championship, and then what happens next week?
The Ryder Cup.
Ryder Cup.
It's just
Oh
the
my
best time of year.
I can't stand it. I can't stand it. Hey, thanks for joining us. I'm Jeff Harrison
And I'm Amy Anderson.
for DaGolf Shop TV.